So I usually go stand by myself, but nobody
I would think that location would be fairly quiet midnight to 7.
I was in Riverside last night.
Oh, Julie thought you were in Westerville.
No, I was in Riverside last night. And,
Johnny, can I go in that corner?
Oh, yeah.
You're fine. I just want to stay in the corner because I don't. Here, there's still plenty of space. I just don't want to be next to somebody on the other team. Okay, we're getting ready to start the second game of the weekend. Mission and Jackets. 1 minute, 20 seconds left on the warm-up. Siege is going to get the start and goal today. And we're playing visiting Whites today. Looks like we're going to get the 4 officials again this morning. 2 reps and 2 linesmen. And I assume we will play 17-minute periods as we did yesterday. Yesterday, 3-2 overtime win for the Mission. Let's see what we get on the scoreboard today. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And there's the buzzer. Get the pucks collected and we'll get underway.
I'll get next time.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. I get a bonus if I hit double digits.
Yeah. We were at like 27 last weekend.
I know. Ratings went through the roof. I can pick up my contract for next year. Okay, we're ready to get underway. We're going to start with Tommy Woods centering Connor Lemmerbrock. And looks like we got Colin on the left side. Going to learn Colin's last name. Across the back, Thomas Adam and Sully Planton. And Siebes is, in fact, getting the starting goal. So here we go. Let's draw one into the Chicago zone. Cross ice pass. Deflected and in, so no icing. Siebes rims it hard around. Comes to Colin. He flips it up and stick and falls to Connor. Connor tries to go to Tommy, but gets a little bit in front of him. Puck goes into the far corner and rimmed around. Chicago comes the other way. That pass up and gets through Thomas. He goes all the way back to the far corner. And Chicago steals behind. Thomas makes a nice recovery, and Tommy rims it on up. Hits the ref in the back. And then Colin whacking at it on the half boards. Can't get it out. Staying with it. Kicking at it, but it's held in, rimmed around. Past Siebes. Connor comes back on his backhand. Whoa, throws it through the slot. Thomas picks it up, bangs it off the boards, and this will be an icing. And we'll change up the line. So now Sonny comes out with Trevin and Connor Miller. And Max and Hayes. Faceoff will come to Siebes' left. Trevin's going to take this draw. Puck played to the far point. Man walks down, shoots wide, big rebound to the near point. Connor closes that down, thrown to the far corner. Max pursues his man, bodies him off. Puck comes loose. Hayes chips at it, comes back to Mac. Man steps out in front, puck is loose. And Siebes does a nice job holding it. And we'll change the wingers up. So out comes Luke with Jackson and Corey. Still Max and Hayes face off again to Siebes' left. Mission center gets tossed, change it up. One back, and near the point. That shot deflects wide of the net. Hayes chips back, can't win it. Held in at the point. Thrown back down low. Max battling for it. Puck comes up the half boards and Jackson collects it, goes cross ice. Corey will pick it up off the boards and dumps in. Jackson going for it. First one to it, knocks it deeper. Luke skates on, can't get to it. Corey comes over, forces the puck behind the net. And then played up to the blue line, into the middle. And a shot. Rimmed off. Hayes picks it up on the rebound. Chips up off the boards. This will be soft enough that there should be no icing. And we'll get a change. Chicago comes to the blue line, intercepted by Tommy, but he can't hold it. Bouncing around at the red line, and then dumped in. Siebes holds it up, moves it on around to Hayes. Hayes cross-ice pass, nobody home. Thrown back the other way. Max has to come in. That shot, Siebes with the save and does a nice job on the rebound. Covers and holds. 14:28 showing. Sully out now with Ray. Got Tommy, Connor, and Colin. Face off into the near corner. Rimmed around Ray quickly to Connor. Connor off the boards and out of the zone, but nice hit there by Tommy. Connor stays with it and curls back up. Cuts it inside of Tommy. Tommy goes cross ice, misses Colin, but he picks it up off the boards and rims it hard around. Connor will track it down on the near half boards, pulls to the middle, goes down low to Tommy. Tommy has Colin there with him. 2-on-2 battle. Tommy's still battling for it and comes to Connor. Connor's shot deflected up out of play on a sharp angle. And we'll change up the forwards. Sonny coming out and Connor Miller. Face off up into the goalie's left. Still Ray and Sully out on the backside. Just draw to the half board. Up the ball to Trevin, who wheels and tries to fire. Ooh, and then he gets tripped, no call. Unintentional, but a trip nonetheless. And cutting to the middle, puck is loose in front, and then a attempted pass up to Connor Miller misfires and comes all the way back to the Chicago zone. Long headman pass, deflected and in, so waves off the icing. Ray will go back behind the net, scoops, and then lays it off for Sully. Sully cuts in front of his own net, plays it off to the near half boards, flipped up, but held in at the blue line. Connor Miller can't get it out and dumped back down low. Sully bodies his man. Nice defense there by Ray to prevent a centering pass, and Trev comes away with the puck. Moves it on up to Connor. Connor Miller gains the red line. Has Trevin with him. Oh, gets it to him, but it slipped just under his stick. Sonny goes into the corner. Held in now by Max. Max across to Thomas. Thomas's shot. Rebound. Connor comes behind the net. Stays with it. Throws it out in front. Hits the goalie in the back. Almost rolls in. It goes behind the net. And then it's flipped up. Falls to Max. Max misfires to Thomas. Thomas holds and dumps it in. Played into the corner. Luke chases his man down. That hits a player on the bench, and we get a whistle. And deflection will get a face-off in the zone. So we got Jackson out with Luke, Corey, Thomas, and Max. Chicago trying to organize themselves in terms of players on the ice. Face-off to the goalie's right. 12:33, scoreless first period. Draw one into the defensive corner. Dixon battling for it. Luke there helping. 2-on-2 scrum. Chicago moves it up to the half boards. Corey closes his man down. Max holds it at the line. Maneuvering, shooting, misses wide. Comes to Adam at the near point. He goes down low. It's partially deflected. Second attempt. And then Dixon brings it through the slot, but nobody home. Played quickly to Thomas. Thomas, headman's Dixo. Dixo can't split the defense, and Chicago comes the other way. Dumped in, wide of the net. Rim down low. Max Lightwood waiting for it. Plays it off the half boards out of Jackson's reach. Goes back down low. Lighty saw that one coming. Has it pinned. Luke in there as well. 2-on-2 in the corner. And Mission comes away with it. Into the front. Plays up to the high slot. Corey goes down. And a nice pad save. Big rebound. Hits a player in front. And then the rebound put in. And so Chicago jumps out to a 1-0 lead. 11:39 shown, first period. Now I've got Tommy out with Connor Lemmerbrock and Colin and Ray and Hayes. This draw tied up in feet. Comes to the blue line. Chicago controls. Chipped in. Gets to Ray in feet. Ray quickly on to Connor. Connor tries to go inside to Tommy. Picks his own deflection. Cuts through the defense and picks it up on the half boards and dumps low. Colin behind the net with it. Comes out the near side. Shielding the puck. Gets ridden off of it. Tries to go back into the corner. Tommy has it and Connor down there as well. Rimmed around. Hayes picks it up. Oh, Hayes loses the handle on it. And Ray will come over. Ray does a nice job deflecting that. Pressure at the line. Dumped down low. Tommy goes down and pins his man. Tommy intercepts that pass, rims it on around to Colin. Colin protects, but can't hold on to the puck. Chip back in. Ray grabs it. Ray chips up the near side. Oh, Connor almost stole that, but can't. And now Chicago dumps in. Siebes pulls that behind the net, moves it on to Hayes. Hayes moves up the near side. Chips in. Tommy gets there first, plays it deeper, but intercepted by Mission. Played on. Hayes bumps his man at the line. Puck is held up in feet now. Kicking forward. Oh, Chicago gets in deep. In through the middle. Puck now low in the corner. Connor Miller battling for it at the point. Man steps around him, then dumps it back down low. Sully battling his man, bodies him off. Puck down low. That shot blocked by Hayes behind the net. Sully picks up the man. Man sneaking out. Puck is loose. And we'll get a line change with 9:39 to go. First period, and Chicago up 1-0. Jackson, Luke, and Corey out. Now with Max and Thomas. Played behind the Thomas. Thomas wheels. Half-ward. Dixon under pressure, can't win it. Max picks it up. He plays half-wards into Corey's feet. Can't do too much with it. Gets it back himself. Still battling for it. Max comes away with it. Gives it to Luke. Luke behind the net. A lot of pressure. Can't quite get out of the zone. Held in by Chicago. This shot blocks, never makes it to the net. Dixon finds it, flips it up, but it's held in. And we're going to get a penalty now, I think for a slash on Chicago, as Luke had the stick knocked out of his hand. So we'll come out with Connor, Jackson, Trevin, Max, and Thomas Adams. Face off to the goalie's left. 8:03 trailing on the clock. Chicago up 1-0. First power play of the game for either team. This one to Max, back to Thomas. Thomas pulls to the middle, far side to Trev, back to Thomas. Thomas to Max, cross ice to Trev, but on his backhand side. Headmans to Thomas. Thomas top of the slot over to Trev. Trev goes down low. Sonny tries to throw it out in front to Jackson, but it didn't get there. Chipped up off the glass. Max collects it and gives it down low to Dixon. Back to Max on the half-boards. Max onto Thomas. Thomas' shot misses short side wide, puck behind the net, and Connor pulls it out in front, lays it off, but Max has to come get it. Dixon planted in front. Max back to Thomas. Thomas over to Trev. Trev top of the circle. His shot hits the defenseman in front. Comes to Thomas. Back to Trev. Down low. Connor. Connor always tried to flip it backhand. Puck is loose behind the net. And I think the net came off the mooring. And so we get a whistle. 104 showing on the power play. We'll change up the lines here. And so we'll bring out Sonny, Tommy Woods, Colin, Sully, and Ray. Face off to the goalie's left. This one into the defensive corner, chipped up. Ray waiting for it. Bouncing puck, goes half-boards off. Comes off of Tommy's stick, but he does a nice job holding it. Ray pulls to the middle, over to Sully. Sully back to Ray. Ray back to Sully. Sully top of the circle, thought about shooting. Comes back to the middle, shoots high. Sonny collects it, goes down low to Colin. Colin has it in his feet. Tommy trying to dig it out. Twin white jerseys down there. And finally, Sonny has it, plays it back to Ray. Ray across to Sully. Sully, 30 seconds left. Back to Ray. Ray's shot never makes it to the net. Looked up and out. And softly enough that there'll be no icing. So Ray will come across to Sonny, who touches onto Sully, goes under his stick, but falls to Colin. Colin into the zone. Chips. Puck rims along the dasher. Fired hard around. Ray collects. Bouncing puck. Still spinning. Over to Sully. 5 seconds remaining. Back to Ray. Ray's shot. Glove saved. No rebound. And 1 second remaining on the power play. So now Dixon will come out with Luke, Corey, Hayes, and Max. Face off to the goalie's left. Draw to the half boards. Comes to Hayes. Hayes' shot. Nice save by the goalie. Rebound. Can't be drubbed home by Luke. And then up comes Chicago. Puck bounce behind. Hayes pulls it. Cuts up the ice. Comes to the middle. And gets it in. Dixo throws it across ice. Oh, Corey couldn't quite reach it. Forecheck comes to Dixo. Dixo's shot goes far post. Nice save by the goalie. Picks up his own rebound. Can't win it. And flipped forward. Knocked out of the air nicely by Luke. He throws it back down to Dixo. Throws in front of Corey. Corey's one-timer. Nice save by the goalie. No rebound. And looks like they changed the wingers up. Connor Lemmerbrock coming out with Tommy and Colin. 6:25 on the clock. Tommy Woods on the draw. In feet, man comes to the middle. Connor picks it up, goes back door. Colin can't finish it. Rimmed up and around and chipped out. Tommy will collect, plays across to Max. Max's pass deflected. He follows up on it, and Chicago into the zone. Hayes collects the puck, cuts to the middle, moves up the ice, lays it on to Tommy. Tommy tries to go back to him, deflected. Tommy stays with it. Hayes digging on the half wood. Hayes gets it deeper. Tommy covering, and then it comes out of the zone. And this should be an icing. Yep. And we'll change up the lines again. Out comes Connor Miller, Trev, and Sonny. Now it's Thomas and Sully. 5:42 shown on the clock. Chicago up 1-0. Chicago center tossed. Trev still on the draw. This one went to the half boards. Connor plays it back off the boards to Thomas. Thomas throws it at the net. It's deflected into the far corner. Sonny jumps on it, wheels on his backhand, throws it around and lays it off for Trev. Trev comes up to the blue line, moves to the middle, down low. Thomas, top of the slot. Sully, rebound, can't be corralled. Thomas holds it on the half boards, lays it down. Sonny tries to pull it to the middle. Sully jumps forward and chips it. And then a nice desperation forecheck by Sonny gets it deeper. Trev will chase down. Connor Miller there gets it back to Trev. Trev tries to pull it up and comes to the blue line. Sully grabs it and tosses it back in, but Connor was still in the zone. 5:01 shown on the clock. So we're going to face off center ice. Now we've got Luke, Jackson, Corey with Ray and Hayes. Tied up in feet. Corey rides his man off. Luke can't win it. And then Chicago pulls it in offsides. We'll do it again outside the zone. This one cleanly back to Ray. Ray, takes a heavy hit into the boards and gets tucked out. No call there. He went head first. Plays it to Hayes. Hayes off the board on the Dixo. Dixo drives in, gets it deeper. Puck rimmed around. Here comes Luke powering down. Puck comes the other way, held at the half boards and then chipped out. And comes into the zone. Puck is loose and rimmed around to the far corner. Ray will move over to it. Works it back the other way. Luke behind the net battling. And comes out to Jackson. Jackson all by himself, waiting for a little bit of help. Moves it on to Hayes. Bounces over his puck. I got a whistle. I'm not sure what. I think Ray is going to go for something behind the play. So now we're playing man down for the first time with 4:11 shown on the clock and already down a goal. got Sonny out there with Connor Miller. Puck, one of the half boards, played back to the point. Pulls to the middle, played to the far side. Thomas Adams stepping forward at the circle. Played down low, bumper shot. Whistles high and wide. Good stick there by Sonny, who broke his stick and has to go get another one. And is back out. Puck tied up in the corner. Nice job there by Max and Connor Miller. Connor still battling and being a nuisance, as is Max. Connor and Max playing a 2-on-2 game, tying that puck up. Finally rimmed around to the far side. Thomas powers through his man, and he and Sonny are now battling for it. Sonny trying to shield the puck. Thomas digging for it. Nice job by the defense here to just kind of tie things up. And man wheels to the near half boards. And back to the point. Fans on the shot. Bouncing puck. Finds a green jersey. And then plays to the far point. Now to the near side. Cross-ice passes there, but too hard for the man to handle. And then played down and out for an icing with a minute even left on the kill. So we're going to come back out with Luke and Jackson and Sully and Hayes. Faceoff will come to Siebes' left. And Luke will take this draw. One cleanly back to the point, far side. Pressure by Luke. Luke staying on it. Comes to the near side where Dixo is, and now Luke steps forward. Chicago got three guys high. Somebody needs to come to the puck. That shot wide. Dixo reaching for it, can't get there. Lost their shape a little defensively. Now Luke pressuring at the point. Luke stays with his man fully around the perimeter. Now to the far point. Hayes steps forward. Laid off, and now Luke steps forward. They're running a weave up top here. That shot deflects off of Luke high. And nice job there by Sully. And then chipped out of play. Luke hits the netting. And we're going to say, let's see where the faceoff is. Still in the zone. Still in the zone. 14 seconds remaining on the kill. So we got Corey out with Tommy Woods and Max and Thomas. Thomas wins that loose puck, tries to tie up the puck with two players, still battling for it. And we got a whistle as the net came off the mooring. 5 seconds showing on the penalty kill. Sonny will come out for Tommy. 2:15, 2:16 showing on the period clock, and 5 on the penalty. Sonny wins this one cleanly to Thomas, who wins it around. Took a funny bounce off the dash for Corey reaching for it. Stopped that, and then played back to the point. Man comes down the high slot. And nice stick there by Sonny. Deflects it, and it comes on to Colin. Colin tries to step inside one man. Thomas picks it up. Drives the near post. Backhand shot. Goalie holds the short side. No rebound. 1:54 now showing. And so comes Connor Lennerbrock. Tommy Woods out with Colin. Thomas and Max. Face off to the goalie's right. Tommy on this draw. Wins it to the slot, but can't be controlled by Connor. Floats to Max, who holds it up, then play back. Max dumps it in between the defensemen. The goalie will play it off to the side, and then alertly, Colin was there to try and bang it home, hit the side of the net with it. Cross the pass, closed down nicely by Tommy, and then Max dumps his man into the bench. So So 1:31 showing on the clock. Still playing 5-on-5. Tommy, Connor, and Colin. Connor jumps on this, pulls inside one man, has his fucking escapes, comes to the high slot, tries to slide it down low. Tommy goes cross ice, and we got a penalty coming up as Colin was interfered with or hooked to prevent a shot. So with 1:15 to go, we'll get a power play opportunity. So Trevin will come out with Connor, Limmerbrock, Jackson, Thomas, and Max. Face off to the goalie's right. In deep, powered behind by Connor, and Dixon comes away with it. Curls to the half boards and then to Max. Max pulls to the middle. Lays it off to Thomas. Thomas pulls back to the middle and then off to the side to Trev. Trev walking down. His shot never comes. Max's shot hits the outside of the net. Max goes cross ice. Trev picks it up off the boards. On to Thomas. Thomas's flip shot, rebound, nobody home, and out comes Chicago the other way. Thomas has it behind the net. He gets rubbed out of the play. Max comes in to help and comes away with the puck. And we get a whistle behind the play. Thomas took a couple of punches waiting for a penalty that the ref was not inclined to call. And then finally fired back, and my guess is the ref is now going to take both of them, despite the fact that Thomas was not the aggressor on that. So we've got 30.4 seconds left in the period. A minute 15 on the 5-on-4 advantage. Tommy, Colin, Sonny draw one into the corner, chipped up. Ray collects it. Ray across to Sully. Sully's shot misses wide of the net. Sonny curls back down low, cuts to the middle. His shot blocker saves. He controls the rebound, throws it down low. Tommy collects behind the net, flips it on to Colin. Colin, high slot to Ray. 5 seconds remaining. Ray throws it at the net. Goalie saves it with 3.2. We get a face-off, and then unless we get a quick shot on net, we'll get a nice cut. We're going to pull the goaltender here and bring an extra skater out. So Connor comes in behind Sonny. And there's the horn. all set for the start of the second period. Chicago up 1-0. 45 seconds remaining on the power play opportunity. I'll start with Trevin centering Jackson and Connor Lemmerbrock with Max and Sully. Puck drop, played back to the Chicago blue line, and they fire it down. And we'll get an icing and try it again, this time down in the defensive zone. 39 seconds remaining. Just draw one back to Sully. Sully takes to the middle, off to the side to Trev. Trev walking down low. Connor tries to jam it back door. It's kicked back into the corner. And held in by Trev at the point. He goes down low. Connor back to Trev, top of the circle. Back down to Connor. Connor behind the net now. Dixon is there. It comes through. Trevin shot. Goalie gets a shoulder on it. Gets up into the netting and out of play. 13 seconds remaining on the power play. Looks like we're going to leave that same set of 5 out there. This one into the defensive corner, played behind the net. Connor battling for it, can't win it. Dixon back there as well. Trev also loitering, comes out to Trev. He gets tripped and no call. And now he gets a call. Jackson and a touch up. I'm not sure. I mean, I think they're calling the trip, but the ref took forever to raise his hand on it. Yeah, he's going to call a trip. Has to be what it was.
No, really, yeah.
So now we'll come out with Sonny, Colin, Tommy Woods, Ray, and Hayes. Pass off to the goalie's left. Tommy moves into this draw. To the half-board in the defensive corner, rimmed hard around. Hayes pinches and holds it. Top of the circle. Down low. Colin flips it back to Hayes. Half-boards. Looks for the deflection, and Tommy got a piece of it. Deflected it in. Goalie had to make a nice save.
Yep.
So we'll face it off to the goalie's right now. Sonny now on this draw. Wins it back cleanly to Hayes. Comes to the middle across to Ray. Ray over to Hayes. Hayes back to Ray. Ray across to Sonny. Forehand back to Ray. Ray over to Hayes. Hayes back to Ray. Ray shot blocked. Bouncing puck falls to Colin. Colin backhands it in to Tommy. Tommy backhands it. Can't get the second one to go. Ray steps forward. Oh, and Sonny playing defense. And a nice block. And the puck comes off the glass. And Seeds has to make a nice save. It bounced back in and almost hit him and went into the net. So minute 14 now remaining. We'll come back out with Jackson, Lemmerbrock, Trevin. With Max and Thomas Adam. Face off one to Max. Oh, Max loses the handle, but it floats to Trev, who comes up the near side. He stops, lays it off to Thomas. Thomas on up to Max. Max rims it hard, hops over the goalie's stick, and Trev will collect it on the half-boards. Back to Thomas. Thomas plays the middle. Now Trev steps down low to Connor. Connor end line, looking to feed, goes behind the net. Reverses with Jackson and comes out the other side up to Thomas. Thomas' shot blocked, falls to Trevin. Trev's shot, nice save by the goalie and cleared out. And Trev will pick it up with 34 seconds remaining. Whoa, loses the handle on it, ends up going in on Siebes. And here comes Thomas picking up the loose puck, headmans it to Max. Max gets closed down as he tries to dump it in, falls to Jackson. Connor feels, takes a hit at the blue line, doesn't get it in. Puck bouncing and falls back to Connor. Connor cuts to the middle. In a sea of black shirts, throws it at the net. Big save. Jackson tries to fire the rebound. Bouncing puck, can't get much on it. And then played up and falls to Max. Max gets it in as we clear the zone and we'll change up. Puck played to the line. Ray with a nice poke check and then played on ahead. Ray sweeps it to the half board, chips at it, bouncing puck, and out of the zone, Cleary chops it down, and Chicago reorganized. Chicago behind their own net, moves up the near side. Connor closes the angle, cross-ice pass. Corey comes over, gains the zone, chips in, feeds gloves and holds. 13:26 showing on the clock. Still 1-0 Chicago. Just chopped back, played to the near point. Puck bouncing. Seed can't win it. Nice poke check there by Ray. Sonny gets it forward, and then it bounces off of Connor, but I think actually hit his skate outside the zone and came in, so offside. We've got Luke out with Carla Miller, Sonny, Ray, Sully. Chicago wins this draw into their own zone. Plays up the near side and chips past Sully. Ray going over for it. Ray close to the outside, bumps into the official, puck tied up in feet. Luke digging for it as well. Luke gets his stick tied up, comes down low, comes around to the near side. Sully on it, tries to chip it back to Ray, partially deflected, so the puck's still in no control, and then Chicago comes away with it back from the near point. That shot, Seed follows that, tracks it off the backboards, covers it. And we'll change up the lines. Out comes Tommy Woods with Corey and Colin, and now Max and Hayes. Face off the Seed's left to the half-boards. Chicago plays it in deep. Max bodies his man off. Puck goes around through. Tommy controls it, but loses the handle. Hayes blocks it down, pops it up. Thrown to Seed near a corner. Colin battling for it, can't win it. Max comes in, man steps inside him, high slot. Puck goes wide. Puck down low. Max grabs it, moves it on to Hayes, who moves it on around to Corey. Corey gets a stick on it, but can't get it out as the defenseman pinches. Played back up to the point. Corey on it, blocks that down, comes to Tommy, and he chips it out. Played across. Colin battles for it, comes to Tommy. Colin chips it up, and then pursues it, can't win it. And then puck goes on the far side. Hayes moves over. Thrown through the slot, cleared by Max. Colin can't win it. Puck comes out in front, and Colin does a nice job getting a stick to it. And then Corey goes down and blocks it. Here goes Colin. Colin shot, glove save. Nice pull to himself to get a shot off. 11:47 showing on the clock. So we'll come back with Connor Miller, Sonny, Trevin, Thomas Adam, and Sully Blanson. Face off to the goalie's right. Trev on this draw. To the half boards. Sonny battles it, fighting his man. Trev comes in but can't win it. Nice back check by Connor. Just possesses for a moment and then falls to Trev. Trev looking for some help. Goes cross ice to Sully. Sully's shot kicked into the corner. Played back out to Sully half boards. Across to Thomas. Thomas's shot blocked. That hit a hand. That's going to leave a mark. Up behind the net. Now Trev's going to, I think, get called for boarding. Now we'll play man down.
Are you serious?
11:20 on the clock. So we'll start with Jackson, Luke, Sully, Thomas. Draw controlled by Chicago back to the near point. Dixon pressures. Looks back and cross ice. Dixon gets a stick on it. Played back to the point. Near side, cross ice pass. Puck won't settle down. Up to the point. Jackson steps forward. Here comes Luke. Luke deflects that behind. Thomas battles his man. Luke now pressures. Dixon comes over. Crunches his man. Tries to tie the puck up on the corner. Puck is on the half board. Floats out to the front. Luke can't win it. Now Sully comes over up to the point. Out of the near side, into the high slot. That shot wide of the net. Jackson reaches for it, ties his man up, and Thomas rims it around, and it hits a stanchion and slows down, so no icing, but out of the zone. Chicago plays the other way. Luke going for a change as the puck comes to the blue line. Thomas goes with his man. That shot. Oh, Dixon has a little trouble controlling the rebound, but falls to Sully, who bangs it off the boards. And they'll say no icing as it hit a man coming off the bench. Ray and Hayes out now with Connor and Tommy. 52 seconds remaining on the power play for Chicago as they start out up the ice. Move to the right side. Dump in. Seeds gets a stick on it. Can't control it. Goes back behind the net. Now plays in the corner. Ray biting his man near point. And far point. Connor Miller steps across. Now Tommy ragging his man down low. Ray into the boards. Tries to pin the puck, but Chicago comes away with it. 20 seconds remaining. Cross ice pass. Out of the high slot. Oh, nice play there by Connor Miller. Ray slashing at it. Ray tries to get it up the boards. Connor can't win it. Played it near point. Connor steps forward. Cross ice pass. Hayes moves out. Thrown to the slot. Nice stick there by Connor. And he flips it up. And Sonny just can't reach it as he came out of the box. So at 9:14, we'll change up the line. So we've got Colin coming out with Tommy Wood and Connor Lummerbrock. Now Max and Sully. Max and Thomas, excuse me. Puck one back to the high slot. That shot, Seeds glove save, no rebounds. So we'll do it all again to Seeds left. Draw one cleaner back to the slot again. Thrown at the net. Misses wide. Rebound comes up. Knocked with a high stick. Touched by Chicago. And so into the far corner. Reverse. Max waiting for it. Shipped up. Held at the point. Bouncing puck. Comes to Connor. Connor absorbs the flash.
Where is
The
it?
stick right out of his hand. And that shot blocked nicely into the corner by Seed. Chicago controlling the puck now. Cross ice pass to the far point. Connor, the shot. Seed, nice job sticking off the rebound, but it comes back out in front. Seed has to make another big save, and here comes Tommy the other way. Tommy aims the red line, dumps in. As we go for a change, played up, and they'll say no icing as Max kind of touched it. Seed moves on around, but there's just black jerseys waiting for it. It goes behind the net. Tully tries to move it back into the corner, but it's just taken away from him. Max sits his man down, and Connor Lummerbrock picks up the puck. Has Jackson on his left, flips it forward to Jackson. Nice pass. Oh, Jackson just misses high corner. Connor holds it in, puck and feet. Connor stays with it. His shot, big blocker save, comes out to Sully. Sully rims him around. Here comes Corey flying down. He kicks it back into the corner. Jackson has it now. Plays it half court to Corey. Corey's shot hits somebody in front, never makes it to the net. Corey grabs his own rebound, comes out the near side. Tries to go back the other way, gets knocked down, and then it's flipped out, and this will be an icing. So face-off will come to the goalie's left. Kevin, with Sonny and Connor Miller, and Ray and Sully draw into the defensive corner, flips back up. Sully kicks it forward, but right to a black jersey, and we got a 2-on-1 developing. Ray back, saved by Seeds, and then the rebound gets popped in past him. And that makes it 2-0. So it's 7:13, halfway through the game, now trailing 2-0. Kevin on the draw, Sonny on his left, Connor Miller on his right, now Max and Hayes. Chicago center tossed. Draw, comes over to Max. Max at his own blue line, turns up ice, chips it on to Sonny, who gets it a little deeper. Connor with a big hit, but can't dislodge the puck. And now we'll come the other way. That shot, glove save. No rebound, and we'll get a face-off in the zone. Change up the wingers. Out comes Connor Lemmenbrock with Tommy and Colin. Still Max and Hayes. Face-off to Seeds right. Chicago center tossed again. This one to the half-boards. Max moves it up but can't control it and comes down low. Battles his man down to the ice. Hayes steals, knocks the puck down. Puck's thrown down low, still floating. Offside pass, high slot behind his man. Tommy chooses to go behind the net and then lays it off for Hayes. Hayes tries to go up the boards with it, but it gets closed down. Man coming across. Hayes goes down and blocks that and going on to Connor. Connor pulls it back, loses a handle on it, and comes out of the zone. Puck down low, slips back up, hits the lighting, and out of play. So we get a face off to Seeds left. Dixo, out, quick shot. Seeds saves it. Isn't sure where it is. It's under his pads. So we've got Luke with Jackson, Corey, Sully, Thomas. Face off to Seeds left. Just in feet on the half-boards. Luke slapping at it, gets out of the zone. Jackson grabs it, brings it in quickly to Corey. Corey shot sticks into the corner. Jackson first one to it. Absorbs the hit, gets it to the half-boards. Corey can't win it. Luke comes in to help. Corey goes down, tries to get it in front. And now we're going to get a tripping call in Chicago. I think a makeup for the flash they didn't call earlier. That was a pretty soft trip. So we've got Connor Lemmenbrock, 7, Jackson, Max, and Thomas. Chicago wins this and flips it up to the red line. Thomas lays it off for Connor. Connor onto Max. Max gains his own but loses the puck, and it comes out the other way. And here comes Chicago into the zone. Bouncing puck slipped wide of the net. Connor turns it back and now comes up the ice. Steps inside one man, gains the blue line, lays it off for Dixon. Dixon walking down, comes over to Thomas. Thomas setting up, plays half boards to Trev. Trev lays it off for Connor. Connor, his shot blocked, and it's flipped up and out. Don't know if it's going to have enough to get there. Oh, it's on end, so it would be an icing. Okay, so we got Sonny out with Colin, Tommy, Sully, and Ray. Puck back to Sully, off to Tommy. Tommy, Sully, Sully to Ray, back to Sully. Sully goes down low. Luke fires it through the slot, comes out to Ray. Ray settling it down, off to Sonny. Sonny shot. Maybe a deflection. I don't know whether it was Sonny or it was a deflection off of Luke, but either way, in the net and a power play goal. And with 4:47 to go, we trim the deficit to 1. Now we got Luke and Corey. Sully has the puck, plays it to Ray. Ray flips across ice as Luke got dumped. Touch pass. Corey comes over, holds it in the zone. Luke gets it deeper, rims it hard around. Here comes Ray, pressuring down, turns it back. Corey holds it and carries deeper. Gets knocked off the puck, gets it behind, pops out in front of Connor. He couldn't get a stick on it. Chipped up, and now we got a 2-on-1 developing. Nice save by Steves. No rebound. 4-11. Remaining second period of 1 goal. So we've got Tommy out with Sonny and Connor Lemmerbrock and Max and Hayes. Just in feet, no control, and then finally Sonny comes away with it, chips it up past the defenseman, and Sonny goes down in a heap, but no icing. To pursue, Sonny, anticipating that, cuts it off, throws it to the slot, short side. Goalie covers, no rebound, as Connor Lemmerbrock was waiting on the doorstep. Up into the corner. Connor battling for it. Chicago comes away with it, moves up the ice. Nice poke there by Max. Looks like an offsides, but they say no. Thrown up and anticipated nicely by Tommy Woods. Moves it across to Connor. Connor settles it down, has it taken away, but it falls right to Tommy. Oh, he shoots and just misses wide of the net. Sonny tries to throw it down low. Sonny runs into his own man. And now Max battling. Nice stick there. Ooh, and then Max with a high hit and no call. Chipped up. Puck thrown. Steve holds it. Max got away with a hit. The pie, I think, there. 3:09 shown on the clock. So now I've got Luke out with Trevin. and Jackson and Sully and Thomas. This draw to the half board. Sully grabs it, chips it up. Too far, I think, for Trev. This will be an icing. So we'll bring it back down to the defensive zone and try it all again. Draw into the defensive corner. Sully has it, stays with it, moves it on to Thomas. Thomas has it in his feet, cuts it back to Sully. Sully gets rubbed to the boards. Trev there trying to help. 2-on-2 scrum. Sully backs out a little bit. Still banging for it. Sully smacking at it. Gets a 2 line, but not out. Comes to the middle. That shot sees with a big glove save. 237 showing. We'll change up the lines. Ray coming out with Hayes, Shawnee, Colin, Connor Miller. This draw in feet, no possession. Half-boards dumped around behind. Hayes will pick it up behind the net. Goes back the other way. Ray moves it on around, bouncing puck on Connor's stick. Gets it to the line, but not out. Flip back around into the near corner. Hayes will have to move for it. Protects the puck. Flip up, bouncing, and out of the zone, and then dumped back in offside. 2:15 showing on the clock in the second period. Tommy moving into the draw here, wins it cleanly back to Ray. Ray tries to go back to Thomas, deflected and then tipped up, and Chicago retreats to their own blue line. Touch pass in past Ray, into the near corner. Hayes goes for it. Puck is reversed, comes back to the point. To the high slot. That shot blockered into the corner. Run down low, and through that man, Connie on it. It's body moves it on up to Colin. Colin wants to go back the other way, but moves it on forward. And then Hayes chips it on up. And in, Connor bumps his man, just lodges the puck. Stays with it. Floated out to the middle, but onto a Chicago stick. Ray goes wide with his man. That shot. Rebound. Steve does a nice job covering that up, and with a minute 24, we get a face-off inside the zone. We'll change things up. Connor Lemmerbrock out with Jackson, Tommy Woods, Max, and Thomas. Face-off will come to Steve's left. This draw one back to the slot. Thrown at the net. Ooh, that hit a body. Steve's never saw it. Didn't get to him. Thrown down low. Oh, high slot. Steve's with a big save. Jackson carries out. He's got 3 black jerseys around him. Chips and chases. Will be the first one to it. Tries to protect the puck. Lems comes in behind him. Jackson back up behind the Lemmerbrock. Ooh, Connor takes a hit up high. Puck floats out front. And then cross ice pass. Thrown to the middle. Steve with a nice save. Max takes his man to the corner, holds the puck in feet, and now Tommy comes away with it. Tommy on to Dixo. Dixo trails to Thomas, and then Tommy gets it in. 30 seconds remaining. Puck rimmed around. Chicago looking to work it out through the middle. Here comes Chicago, 3-on-2. Steve with a nice save, and finally finds the rebound. .2 on the clock. Sonny out with Luke and Corey and Sully and Ray. Draw in deep. Chicago gets into the half boards, but no control there. Sully lets straight up to Shawnee. Shawnee flips it forward out of the zone, but no further. Big hit by Corey. It comes to Sully with no time left on the clock. And so we get a nice cut and be back. Okay, ready to start the third period. 17 minutes on the clock. Dayton 5 aside. We'll start with Tommy Woods, Connor Lemmerbach, and Colin with Thomas Adam and Max Lightwood, and immediately an icing.
I don't want to get fined for it.
We'll bring the face-off down to the Mission goalie's right. Just draw one cleanly back. Max shot deflected behind the net. Connor has it, trying to get it back to the corner to Tommy. Tommy fires through and picks it up. Shielding the puck, reverses it back to Connor. He can't win it. Flipped up on the glass, and Thomas gets a hand on it but can't control it. Max flips it sideways, and nice back check by Colin, and he gets it on up to Tommy. Tommy can't win it, but Max following up, jumps to the line but not in. Here comes Chicago the other way, and a jump in, and Seed to hold it and bring it back to Connor. Connor, I think the net must be off the mooring. So we got a whistle. And this face will come outside the zone. So we'll take this opportunity to change the lines up. Luke comes out with Jackson and Corey, Sully and Hayes. This draw won by Chicago and dumped in. Goes behind the net. Bouncing puck, Hayes will collect. Wins it around to Jackson. Jackson lays it off for Luke. Luke has Corey with him. Headman for Corey. Corey has it come off his stick. Falls to Hayes. And Hayes cross ice to Dixo. Has it poked away from him, but Sully follows up. Jumps in. Played off the boards and touched in. Seeds plays it on around to Jackson. Jackson will have a free out here. Has Luke with him just out of his reach. And cut inside. Deflected Hayes. Flips it right back up. Goes past the defenseman. And Dixon has it. Has Corey going to the front of the net. Jackson can't control it. Corey goes behind. Backs in and shields the puck. And Luke bumps his man. Puck comes out front. Bouncing. No possession. And now it floats forward. Chipped on. And Hayes has it. Hayes has nobody with him. Has it taken away from him. Cross-ice pass into the zone. And a shot blocked. Seeds controls the rebound. And we'll get a whistle in zone.
Yeah.
15:05 showing. Connor Miller. Sonny. Trevin. Out with Ray and Thomas Adam. Face off the Seeds left. This draw comes all the way to the near point and out of the zone. Played cross ice. Headman falls to Connor. Connor off the boards, gets it to Trev. Trev has, Sonny going for the far post. Couldn't quite reach it. Went into the boards hard. Just face off in zone. 14:49 showing. Chicago up 2-1. Same group out there. Trevin will take this draw. That's Connor Miller on his right. Sonny on his left. Sonny passes it back, but between the two defensemen, Seeds comes out to play it. Goes behind the net to Ray. Ray moves it on to Sonny. Sonny flips it, and then Luke's going to go for an icing. And we'll bring it back down to the other end.
Wow, there's no way that.
So Tommy now out with Colin and Connor Lemmerbach. Still Ray and Thomas. Caught up in feet, a shot blocked. Falls to Connor. Connor chips it up onto Colin. Colin grabs it. Can't move it any further and goes back behind the net. Ray goes back for it. Reverses it to Thomas. Thomas picks it up, rims it on around. gets it into Collins' feet. He swipes at it, chips forward but not out, going back down. Ray will have it. Goes back the other way. Collin picks it up. Headmans it behind Connor Lemmelbrock. Can't control it and comes down the other way. Chip forward and touch past, and they'll say no icing as Ray protects the puck but loses it. Comes back to the side of the net, and Thomas does a nice job keeping it behind the net. Ray has his stick held but kicks it onto Collin. Collin can't do much with it. And Ray again has it, then reverses it to Thomas. Thomas behind the net. Moves up the ice. Headmans it. Had Tommy Woods but missed him. And it goes for an icing with 13:33 on the clock. So now we've got Luke out with Jackson and Corey. Max and Hayes draw one to the near point. Corey steps up into the slot, sticks wide of the net. Luke fires his man to the corner, gets away with a trip, chips it up and to the line but not out. Hayes follows up, gets it further. Jackson goes down in a heap. And a shot gloved and into the netting. We change the wingers. Sonny coming out. Connor. Trevin. Still Max and Hayes. Takes a look into Steve's right. Excuse me, to his left. Trevin on the draw. Floats to the slot. Flipped forward, but out of Connor's reach. And Chicago throws it right back in. Floats in, and Steve says, I'll collect it, hold it, and we'll get a face-off. So now this time face-off to his right. Again, Trevin on the draw. This one back to the near point. Connor closes that down, forces a dump in, goes behind the net. And Trevin will pick it up in the near corner. Plays it on to Connor. Connor moves to the outside, takes a heavy hit, gets the puck in a little bit deeper. Trevin pursues, rim back the other way, ships up and out. And now we've got a 2-on-1 developing. Puck down low through the slot. And a big rebound comes all the way out to Sonny. Sonny across to Hayes. Hayes loses the hand on it. And now we got a delayed penalty. And a touch up. And somebody's going for a cross check. Looks like it's going to be Max. Must have been behind the play. I didn't see it. So it's 12:24 showing in the third period and trailing by a goal. We'll play man down for 2 minutes. We got Luke out with Jackson. Rimmed hard around. Jackson gets a stick on it to slow it up. Has Luke coming with him, gains the red line. Shoots it in, bounces off a player and goes into the corner. Luke pursues. Chicago gains control and moves up the other way. Luke again closing his man down to the line and dumps in. Ray comes over, bodies the man and the puck and kicks it on free to Jackson. Jackson can't reach it and played out to the high slot. Luke blocks that shot, comes right to a green jersey, but Dixon gets a stick on it. And had Luke, they'll say touch up on the flip out, so no icing. Corey now out. Still Connor. Sully. Play to the near side. Corey closes his man down, played back across. Connor hustling over, forces his man to retreat. Jumps on him, wins the puck. All by himself, looking for help. Spins back to the corner. Can't get it as everybody else was back down on the defensive end. 55 seconds remaining on the power play for Chicago. Corey in deep. Now he'll swap with Connor. And here comes Chicago. Play to the near side. Corey comes over. Man sweeps into the zone. Goes wide. Play back to this high slot. And the near point, cross-ice pass, far corner. Connor comes out, up to the top. Good puck movement, shot goes wide. And Chicago gains control on the half board. Now to the far point, down low. Here comes Sully, high slot. That whistles wide of the net. Exchange at the top. Puck goes down low. Corey hustling for it. And puck is loose. Sully stabs at it. Now Hayes gets a little piece of it. Played to the far point. Here comes Corey stepping up. That shot whistles wide of the net. Big rebound. Held in. Connor pressures. And goes wide. That shot whistles wide. We are all even. Thrown down into the corner. Here comes Tommy. And then thrown at the net. Steve holds on, gets a froze. And we'll get a line change with 10:08. Still trailing by a goal. All even now. Connor Lemmerbrock coming out with Colin. Tommy Woods. Now Ray and Thomas Adam. Ray with a good stick blocks that shot and the puck comes out. Chicago will retreat and reorganize. Headman touched and hits somebody on the bench. And we'll get a face-off as the puck went out of play. It should be outside the zone. Same set of five there. Tommy moves in for the draw. In feet, one back. Ray has it. Under pressure, moves it on to Tommy. Tommy tries to sneak inside his man. Stays with it, and then headlines it. Just misses Connor, who pursues the puck in. It's chipped up. Goes over Thomas, falls to Ray. Ray goes off the board for Thomas. Thomas takes it out of his feet, goes cross-ice, misses Colin, falls to Ray. Ray now up to Colin, touched by Chicago, and then they come to the near side. Thrown in, Ray moves it on for Colin, who can't find it. Finally does. Backhands it on to Tommy. Tommy lays it off to Connor. Connor, a nice quick snapshot. Foley gets a shoulder on it and deflects it up out of play. So we get a face-off in zone with 9:21 showing. Trevin out. Sonny, Connor Miller. Hayes and Max face-off for the goalies left. Trevin on this draw. Wins it half-boards to Connor, back to Hayes. Hayes' shot, glove save. No rebound. And we'll do it again. This time defensive corner draw. Blocked by Sonny. Sonny collects it near half-boards, rims it on around. Connor trying to get to it, bodies, gets a foot in front of it, comes out with it, tries to play back. Sonny pulls it to himself, still behind the net, battling. Here comes Trev to come in and help. Scrum behind, Trev comes away with it in the near corner, moves it on up the boards to Hayes. Hayes across quickly to Max. Max throws it. This is wide of the net. Trev stays with it, bodies his man, and then it's flipped up, bouncing puck. Here comes Max. Max fields his man off. Puck goes harmlessly through the crease. Hayes tips it, falls to Connor. Connor overskates, comes across to Max. Max flips it on up. Touch pass to Trev. Trev deflects it in. Goalie plays it into the far corner. Connor tries to close it down, and it's flipped up, bouncing puck. Gets past Hayes. No icing here as Chicago goes for a change, as do we. Hayes headmans it quickly to Dixo. Dixo into the zone, tries to split two men, has it poked off his stick. Luke goes smartly across Corey. Corey stops at the blue line. Oh, tried to hit it back to Dixon, but just behind him. Luke battling for it. Puck held against the line by Sully, but then it gets by him. Dixo does a nice job shielding his man off and allows Sully to come into the puck. Moves it to Ray. Ray moves up the near boards, off the boards and out of the zone, but Chicago immediately regains possession. Dixon has his stick held, and Sully does a nice job blocking that pass, and then dumps it down. We're going to say no icing. 7:30 remaining in the third period. Sully bodies his man nicely. Ray gets ridden off the puck, but allows Sully to come into it. And puck bouncing around. Tommy trying to bang at it on the half board, chipped up to the point, but held in. Soft ice pass. Man steps in, misses high and wide. Big rebound to the far point. And then Tommy gets a stick on that, deflects it out of play. 7:03 remaining. We get a face-off in the zone. Now we've got Connor Lemmerbrock, Tommy Woods, and Colin out. Colin going to take the draw. In feet, and he flips it out. No control. Connor will pressure. Reverse. Tommy waiting for it. Throws it at the net. Rebound, and it comes out long way, and here comes Chicago the other way. Flip to the far corner. Colin bodies his man, allows Ray to come up with it. Oh, he tried to go into the middle with it. Couldn't get it there. Not sure what happened there. But that makes it a 2-goal game again with 6:35 remaining. Although the officials are going to have a conversation about this. Looks like they're going to call it a good goal. This draw, one back to Sully. Sully across to Max. Max headmans. Connor chips in. Sully pinches. Falls to Trev. Trev on his backhand. Doesn't get much of a shot on it. Connor tried to deflect it. Gets it back to Trev in the corner. Throws it towards the front of the net. Sully covers and holds. 6:13. Now 3-1 Chicago. Trev moves into the draw. Wins it cleanly back to Max. Max posts in the middle. His shot, glove save. And we do it again. This draw, one back again. Max. Max tries to throw it at the net, but it's blocked. And then a headman misses the target, and this will be an icing, and we'll do it all again. 5:59 showing on the clock. Out comes Luke with Jackson. Connor Lemmerbrock, Max, and Sully. This one into the defensive corner, and Chicago skates onto it. Off the boards, Max stands his man up, and Luke skates onto it. Luke throws it back down the ice. This is going to go on net, so there won't be an icing. That's bouncing, comes to the blue line and out as Connor plays it across to Sully. Sully throws it at the net. Sully decides to hold it last second. And we're going to face up in zone 5:33 showing. This draw, and back to Sully. Sully goes down low, outside of Dixon's reach. Luke can't win it, and here comes Chicago the other way. Flipped forward, and they're going to say icing, but it won't have enough to get there. Sully tries to rim it around, doesn't get quite as much on it as he wanted, so now puck loose behind the net. Luke battling with his man, comes free. Chicago tries to step inside with it. Puck on the end line. And then it floats out to Jackson. Jackson headmans to Connor. Connor Cuts inside his man, tries to get it to Jackson, but can't. Now he comes away, flipped out, and Thomas Adams collects. His pass knocked down and into the corner. Thomas first one to it, pulls to the outside. Tommy tries to get it up further. Puck is loose. Now man walks in. Shot deflects into the netting over top. And they got a face-off in the zone with 4:38 remaining. This draw into the corner. Ray rims it around, collected by Thomas. Thomas moves up the ice. Headman's it to Colin, who gets it to Tommy. Tommy shoulders inside a man, but loses the puck. Comes back to Thomas. Puck is loose, and here comes Chicago into the zone. In feet, no possession. Thomas tries to come away, but gets it out of the zone, but no further, and Chicago reorganizes. Deflected in. Ray settles it down, goes across to Thomas. Thomas off the boards, touched, and Tommy gets to it, but can't win it. And now played in. Thomas dumps his man, but Chicago has the puck, and they're going to try and eat some time here. Thomas dislodges it. Ray dislodges it. Thrown down into the corner. Thomas goes back the way it came. Trevin there trying to help, comes away with it, tries to cut inside a man, and puck is just bouncing around now. It's in feet. Corey tries to flip it forward, but it's knocked down low. Ray collects, flips it up, and to the blue line, but no further. It's played in, and this will be an icing. No, they say no icing. Up to the high slot. Shot whistles fine. Wide. Trevin collects it off the boards, bounces it to the point, thrown into the far corner. Ray allows Hayes to skate onto it. He rims it around outside of Connor's reach. And then that puck comes loose into the corner. Puck played onto Ray. Ray headmans it to Sonny. Sonny leaves it to Ray, who fires it, but it's held. Connor pushes it up and out of the zone. 2:45 remaining. Chicago plays off the boards and in. And they'll say a touch for no icing. Hayes into the corner, moves it on to Connor. Puck floats and Chicago has it again. Man comes wide. Nice poke check by Hayes. Puck floats out, and now Connor should pick it up. Connor has Max coming with him, gets it to him. Max, nice save by the goalie. Behind the net with 2:15 now. Pressure there by Connor Lemmerbach. Misplayed. Connor gets a stick on it. Jackson loitering in front, looking to help. Puck chipped halfboards. Dixo grabbing at it. Connor switches around. Hayes holds it at the point. Goes on to Connor. Connor throws it in front, but Dixo cleared through, and then the puck comes the other way. Here comes Chicago the other side. That shot partially deflected. Hayes collects and moves up the ice with it. Hayes on to Connor. Connor can't quite control it into the zone. And I think we're offside for the blue line. 131 shown. Kind of Miller out. Tommy Woods and Sonny. Thomas Adams and Sonny skip in behind the net. And Thomas will go back for it, pulls it out the far side and moves up the ice. Thomas gains the red line, chips in to the bench. And we're going to face off outside the zone. Steves was coming off, but I suspect he'll go back. So same set of 5 there. This one back to Thomas. Thomas fires it in. then to hard around past the goalie. Connor holds it up on the half boards, and then it's flipped back out the other way. It should be an icing, and it is. .107 on the clock. Chicago up by 2. Sonny, Connor Miller, Connor Lemmerbrock, Jackson Dixon. This one's one Thomas. Pump fakes, holds on to it, goes down low. Sonny cuts back to his backhand, and Dixon comes and collects. High slot, Connor Lemmerbrock, his shot blocked. And Chicago will have an easy empty netter here. And that makes it 4-1. And with 45 seconds remaining, that'll end the competitive phase of the game.
So you guys. Yeah, I was looking at the other, what are those called? Wolf Gray. Platinum or something? No, yeah, pure platinum. I might get these too. They're pretty fire.
You've seen the ones I have, right? The Cool Gray or whatever. Those ones are
My brother just got the same ones Corey has. Those ones are pretty sick. The light pink ones? Yeah.
I want to get the red ones.
Oh, really?
Maroon. No, Rays aren't dunks.
Oh, he's Jordans.
Yeah.
My friend has red dunks.
I want to get the MSG ones too. The MSG ones are sick.
I love the dark green. Too.
Yeah. I just don't have like a green color shoe.
I don't wear them.
Yeah, either. Like it'll match with like.
We have to practice up or something. What? We practice up.
We didn't yesterday.
Should we just take it with us? Go ahead, bit.